Welcome back to the Venom Workshop. So today what I'm going to show you how to do is, this is a used scooter. It's actually a customer's unit, brought it in for service. Excuse me. But it's been sitting here for a little over a week now, and I did that on purpose. I wanted to let it sit because I want to show you what happens and how to get it started after it's been sitting for a while. So if I come over to it and I try to start it, it's not going to just fire right up. There's no way. So we'll try it. Let's see. And it's not going to want to start. It's not a bad thing. So what's going on this right now is the gas has all left the fuel line and gone back to the tank. So we're going to have to prime that back up. We're going to have to get that pressure back up to the fuel line. So the way we do that is sit on it. Rotate our throttle a bunch of times. Let's try it. Try it again. There we go, and it fired up. Now, what I'm doing when I'm rotating the throttle like that is I'm getting the fuel, back up. So you'll notice after I did that, I primed it up, it fired right up. And like I said, it's been sitting for probably a week with nobody touching it. And now it's gonna sit and it's gonna run fine. Oh, I better put my kickstand down. There we are. So now if you notice, if you let your scooter sit for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it doesn't really make a difference either which scooter it is. Could be the X21, like any of those scooters would work. I'm gonna kick that battery off so I can talk here for a second. So all these units here are 50 cc's, all of them, except for a wheel stop with the X20. But these 4 units right here are all the same. So if we try to cold start these, they're all gonna be the same thing. None of them are just gonna instantly, as soon as I touch the button, they're not gonna fire. And the reason that happens is they all have a fuel pump on them, and the fuel pump actually runs on a vacuum from the intake. So when we start it when we go to start it and it doesn't have any pressure, we have to get that pressure back up. So rotating our throttle here gives, it helps bring the fuel back through. So we'll do that. We'll hit the starter a few times, get that engine pumping, which causes vacuum inside the fuel pump and brings fuel up. We'll rotate the fuel handle a few times, let the pressure off, and then we'll do it again. And it usually fires right up just like that. So even if you let it sit for weeks at a time, it's still in a start, but a lot of people have a hard time getting it started just because of that. They don't realize that you have to pump that fuel back up, and some of them, like our Mad Dog scooter here, the fuel has to pump far. So it has to pump from the tank right there all the way up to the carb underneath the seat there. This one's not too bad. The tank is right here. So let's and I knocked it down. Here, hold on. I'm just gonna lift this seat. I'm gonna show you this, what I'm talking about. Okay. So our fuel tank is here, right? And our fuel pump is actually mounted right here, underneath here. And then our carburetor is way down there. So it's still got to pump that fuel from the tank all the way down to the carburetor. And that's why, if you let it sit for a while, you might have a bit of a hard time getting it started. But it's really not that hard to start if you follow those steps that I just showed you. Just like I said, you gotta prime it. So you're gonna prime your throttle a bunch of times, just crank it before you even try to start it. But now that I've got the fuel going through, it fires right up. So that's all you're doing, is you're just bringing that fuel around from the fuel pump, and that's all it takes. And it's for the same for all the 50 cc scooters. To get that, you just have to get that fuel pumping up and around, and it'll fire right up for you. So that's my video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to see you in the comments, guys.